Of Freedom came out last year, and man, there was so much arguing over this movie. It became a culture war movie. That's because there were two different sides to the online arguments surrounding Sound of Freedom. Both sides were being very unreasonable. One side was saying that if you dare to like this movie, then you're either part of a QAnon conspiracy or you're too much of a moron to see how this movie is nothing more than QAnon propaganda. You're such an idiot. You got duped by their QAnon propaganda because people associated with the film made statements outside of the movie itself. That means Sound of Freedom itself is propaganda for a QAnon conspiracy. That's ridiculous. Have whatever opinion you want about what the filmmakers here said outside of the movie does not mean that the movie itself is propaganda. And then the other side to this argument is saying that if you dare to not like this movie, if you dare to have any kind of issues with it, if it's not your favorite movie of the summer, then you're not seeing the importance of this movie. What's wrong with you? Do you not think that child trafficking is a bad thing? Can't you understand that's a good thing this movie came out? How dare you have any issues with it at all? That means you're supporting child trafficking. That's ridiculous. You're allowed to have issues with this movie. Just because someone doesn't think Sound of Freedom is perfect, just because someone doesn't think Sound of Freedom was the best movie of the summer, that doesn't mean that they're saying, I'm opposed to a movie coming out that shines a spotlight on child trafficking. You gotta understand that. It's like if a movie came out about slavery, for example, and someone has issues with the movie. Well, it doesn't mean they support slavery. It just means they have issues with the movie. It's something that really people should understand, but they just don't for some reason. They think, look at Sound of Freedom. If you have any kind of issues with it whatsoever, it means you support child trafficking. That's absurd. And then the other part of this culture war is that there are all these screenshots, photos being circulated around the internet that showed a room reserved for Sound of Freedom where all the seats were bought out and yet the room was empty. And so that prompted a bunch of conspiracy theories where people are claiming that, hey, this right here is absolute proof that nobody saw Sound of Freedom. And so the fact that the movie made as much money as it did shows that this is all a con job. This is all a complete sham. The studios just paid for people's tickets. No one went to actually see this movie. It's all a conspiracy where the Pay It Forward program was used as a way to make sure that this movie would make money, but no one actually saw it. So you just saw all this garbage where people were being completely unreasonable about the movie. It's really unfortunate.